Good morning, you guys. So recently I have been getting up at the crack of dawn, aka 5:30 a.m. At least that's super early for me. And the very first thing I do is just get myself to the bathroom to wash my face and brush my teeth because it wakes me up. And as soon as I do that, I'm glad that I got up. Otherwise, before then, I just so badly want to close my eyes and go back to sleep. So just, I apply my daily SPF. It's from Aaron's Faces. Brush my teeth with my Thieves Whitening Toothpaste, which is my absolute favorite. And like I said, this just kind of wakes me up and gets me going. Next, I will move on to quick do my makeup. So I've been waking up earlier, trying to get up before the kids. And Bo usually wakes up around 6 a.m. Right now. I mean, he's still a newborn, so I feel like everything changes all the time. But right now, if I can get out of bed at 5:30, I can usually get my makeup on and maybe even get dressed before he wakes up. So it helps so much when you have lots of kids, one kid, doesn't matter. They are just demanding in the morning, and the day if you wake up when they wake up, I feel like you immediately start your day at 1,000,000 miles an hour. But even though it's hard to get up early, I feel like it really does make all the difference. This is actually the first time around in the newborn phase I've gotten up before the baby. Bo sleeps pretty well. He's only been waking up once a night, which is so nice. So I feel like I can do it. Plus, I feel like with 3 kids now, it's just there is no time to yourself during the day. So if you want it, you got to take it early in the morning and then, once they're all down for bed at night. So I just, do a little bit of concealer, bronzer, a little bit of eyeshadow just to kind of warm up my face. Mascara, obviously, I fill in my brows, and that's pretty much it. This is just my go-to, and blush, go-to quick makeup that makes me look fresh and awake and presentable. And by the time I'm done my makeup, Bo is usually waking up. Like I said, he usually wakes up about a half an hour after me, at this point in time at least. He is still such a little guy. He's only 9 weeks old. So he, other than at night, like I said, he only wakes up once a night right now. But he eats pretty much every 2 to 3 hours during the day. So right when he wakes up, we settle into our first nursing session. And then every couple or so hours after that, I am feeding him again. He's just such a sweet little guy, and he's so happy after he eats.
Bud. Hi. Hi. Yeah.
So once I feed Bo, I do pump. This is something I've done with each baby. I pump for 10 minutes every day after the first feeding. It's just part of my routine, and whatever milk I get, I just store it in the freezer. It's a really great way for me to just kind of build up a stash without having to stress over it, since it's just kind of built into my routine. Then I do like to quick jump into some kind of Bible study. I have been using this one recently. I actually started it a long time ago and finally just picked it up, and I'm gonna try and finish it. In reality, this lasts sometimes only 5 minutes. That's all I have before it's just time to get downstairs and really get the day started. But I try my best to fit it in because it's important to me. But also starting my day off this way and just kind of centering it around the Bible and God, it just helps me get my mind right before a very busy day. So when I go downstairs, the very first thing I do is I fill up my water. This is one of those Stanley 40-ounce giant tumblers, and I try and drink minimum half of this, but I try and drink the entire thing before I have my coffee, so I am just super well hydrated. So these days, Matt has been cooking us breakfast every morning. He's been doing this ever since I was actually pregnant with Bo and just sick and out of it. And a lot of times I end up missing the family breakfast because I'm just upstairs with Bo for a long time. By the time I get down, they've already eaten. That doesn't happen every day, but it does happen. So that's just kind of how it went today. So I just had some breakfast with my little buddy Bo. We had Dutch Baby. I have a recipe for that on my channel. And then after breakfast, I like to get the girls dressed and ready for the day. Currently, my 1.5-year-old is in the phase of pulling everyone's clothes out of every single drawer and leaving them all over the house. At least she's super cute. Is anyone else's kids in that phase right now? Anyway, so then we will move on once everyone's dressed to brushing teeth. So right now, she's my 1.5-year-old. She's becoming very independent at the ripe age of 1. And of course, she wants to brush her own teeth. I do brush them when she's all done. But my older one, my 3.5-year-old, she can pretty much do it by herself now, which is always fun. So anyway, once we get everyone's teeth brushed, we go back downstairs. Now, listen, I don't normally dive head first into a craft before I've even had my coffee. I'm not really that kind of mom, but this is just how it went on this day. Hayden basically woke up and was asking me to make a painted noodle necklace from the moment her eyes were open. So we just decided to roll with it. So I got her all set up with her paints and decided to make myself some coffee once they were a little bit busy and I could. I love my espresso machine. I have the Breville Barista Pro, I think, and it's amazing. It's my favorite appliance, hands down, in our entire house. And typically I love a latte. I love iced lattes. But recently I have been making just an Americano, which is I do 2 shots of espresso with hot water. So it kind of is similar to just a regular cup of drip coffee. Because I just have been craving something hot in the morning, and I just kind of been liking this over a hot latte. It's also just faster because you don't have to steam milk. So I add just a little bit of half and half, basically treat it like it's just a regular cup of coffee. I've also been adding a scoop of collagen as well. I'm not really a collagen person, but I've been trying this one for, I don't know, a month or so. And I actually have noticed a difference in my skin and especially my nails. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, so mix that in, and then I go into the kitchen and I just blissfully walk past the ridiculous mess that has been created in the 3 minutes it took me to make my coffee. It's just reality with tiny little kids. I will get to that in a minute, but I'm moving on to what I call my second non-negotiable of the morning. I do 3 things every morning. So I make my coffee, then I fill the diffuser. It's different every day. Right now I've been loving Citrus Fresh and Thieves and 1 drop of an oil called Divana, and it basically smells like a fall candle. It smells like apple, sweet, spicy, warm cinnamon goodness, and it's just my favorite. And then I will move on to putting on music. Recently, I have been loving, on Spotify, any of their dinner party playlists are gold, at least in my eyes. If you come to my house, there's a real good chance that's what I'm playing. And just, obviously having my cup of coffee, getting my diffuser going, getting music going. This makes the biggest difference in my mood. It just sets the tone for the day. Like I said, my 3 non-negotiables, even if, it looks like a bomb went off in my house. Depending on the day, it could be pasta noodles, it could be toys, it doesn't matter. These are just the 3 things I do for myself quickly to just, like I said, set the tone for the day, and it's really important. So once we got all of the noodles cleaned up, we moved on to school. So Hayden is my 3, almost 4-year-old, and we are actually doing homeschool preschool. And every morning we just sit at the table and we do our prayers. We typically read from this big book of poems. And we do have a curriculum, a preschool curriculum for her. I'm really new to the homeschool game. I'm not super well versed, but I do have the Good and the Beautiful preschool curriculum. I have a lot of friends that use it, and really I've heard just great things. And so far we really like it. She really likes it. Even if there's days and I'm okay, we don't need to sit at the table and, we can just do crafts or bake or just, read aloud a bunch of books, which we do a lot of all of those things outside of this. And that's definitely a part of her preschool as well. But we she really, really likes the books. Like, she likes to learn the letters. She's really, really into it. So she'll ask me to do it. Like, on the weekend, she's like, Mom, we didn't do school today. And I'm like, yeah, it's the weekend. We don't have to, but I guess we can if you want. So that's been really fun. And it's just kind of nice to have that, like, bonding time with my oldest. So we've really actually been enjoying that. So once we finish that up, honestly, we sit here for probably 20 minutes. It's not super long. I mean, her attention span's not that long. This is when I kind of really move into like my day, and this is kind of where my morning routine ends. I like to get dressed. I like to wear real clothes, even if I'm not leaving the house, even if no one's going to see me. It makes a huge difference in my energy level and productivity and just how I feel like about myself. So I always pretty much throw on a pair of jeans and some kind of shirt, top. Sometimes it's a t-shirt, doesn't really matter. But as long as I'm not in like leggings or pajamas or sweats, I feel pretty good. And then I usually just slap on a few oils I like to wear, and then it's time to get my workday started.